Mr. Diaz, your catcher, you spoke about
Sure.
him a few times this spring already. I'd like to ask this after a guy had kind of a breakout season like he did. One, in your mind, buddy, what were the keys for him last year when he clicked? And what does he need to do to continue that this season?
Well, I think the talent was always in there. We talked about him digging a hole, and it just got to the point where he was just trying so hard. But I think what happened. He finally got a couple base hits, hit a ball out of the park. When that happens, you relax, and then the confidence starts to turn. So I think he was in a much better place mentally once he started to click. But fundamentally, started laying off the breaking ball a little bit more. Started taking his walks. Simple terms: swinging at strikes, taking balls. An up the middle approach, right? Not trying to pull the ball, being anxious. So I think that's what sort of turned it. But it starts with a couple hits. Starts with throwing a guy out at second, making a big play. Remember when he threw out Grisham at third base against the Padres in a big spot late in the game? That sort of coincided. I got to look again, but that sort of coincided with the turnaround. But it was just a couple base hits, a home run, got the confidence, and then laying off the breaking ball, up the middle approach, better two-strike approach, then it turned for him.
Did all of that also affect his relationship and his ability to kind of take command as a catcher, both with pitchers, or did he already have it?
Well, again, he's still learning the guys, right? COVID year, shortened, the Denver spring training. Didn't play much those first 30 games of the season of the 60. Was coming off sort of a rough defensive year in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Worked a lot with Red and Aaron on the catching side, and then that doesn't happen overnight, right? It takes time to learn. Some of the things that we were trying to teach him technically, and then also learning the pitching staff, pitch selection. What pitchers, what their go-to pitch is, what they like to do, what they can't do, and that takes time. Then it all started coming together in the middle of the season.
Yeah, because we haven't talked about him a whole lot this spring, but I would think he's one of the guys that you don't have to worry much about.
No, because he's older, right? I mean, he's been around, he's experienced. We trust him. Yeah, he goes about it the right way. He's a good worker. He's great with the coaching staff, great with the pitchers, great with the pitching coaches. So it's in place. So hopefully, again, he can carry through what he did the second half into these next couple of years as per his contract.
Buddy, how do you feel about, I look around the infield, as you said, Crum got a lot better as the season went, Rogers is getting better, you have a really good left side fielding wise. How do you feel about your defense in the outfield right now?
Well, we've talked about that for a number of years, right? It's, it's just, personnel wise, I think we have, steady, dependable outfielders. With Sam and Hampy, I think we have some range. I think Grichuck is a solid average defender, right? Which is good, right? He's a major league outfielder. The wide ranging Hampy and Hilliard provide that. I think Chuck and Bryant are solid. They're steady, dependable.
Do you a lot of times if you're in a tight game?
Are you going to talk strategy now?
Yeah.
Are we going to defend for people?
Well, is it hard
Potentially.
now with the DH? You could double switch in the National League and move guys around and stuff. It's a little harder.
It depends. I think you can break down every player, right? I think with Kris, he might. Again, I got to look at him every day, right? I'm not sure what we have, but our reports and what my eye tells me is that, big guy, long strides and athletic, can maybe make more plays than you think. Has a good arm. Charlie, great instincts, right? Is he as fleet of foot as he was a number of years ago? Probably not, but makes up for that, and knowing the league, knowing the hitters, knowing our ballpark, still has arguably maybe our best arm.
It's a very accurate one.
Yeah. Fundamentally sound, doesn't make mistakes, right? Throws to the right base, hits the cutoff man. And those things are important, right? I mean, so you sort of, you ask yourself, is range more important or is a smart outfielder more important? That's what you ask yourself. And then you decide.
Big park.
Smart players. Throwing the right base, throwing a guy out, hitting the cutoff man, instincts, hands.
Does Daza fit in?
Hang on a minute. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Daza. I'm sorry. Good defender, above average. In range and arm, and sure-handedness. Sorry I missed him. So he's in there with the Hilliard Hampson group as far as, but I mean, all around, Daza might be our best defender.
Wheels are turning, just trying to think of ways to get him on the field without hurting the offense. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Every game's different.
The success that Bryant's had.
Right.
Doesn't make any difference in the clubhouse.
Yes, I can't measure it, right? I think that, when those types of players, walk through the clubhouse doors, you feel better about your team. Those types of players, and the more players you have like that, I mean, it gives everybody confidence. Right, when you have a good team, right, and there's some teams on paper that have a lot of those guys, right, veteran players who've done. So when those type of guys walk through the doors, it sort of say, hey man, we're pretty good, right? I wasn't there, maybe you were, but the 27 Yankees probably had that feeling, right? But the more players you have, like Kris Bryant and guys who, Kyle and Marquez, and they walk through, you like when Marquez is pitching or Kyle, hey, pretty good today. Probably going to get a chance to win because we have guys like that. So it does make a difference.
McMahon just volunteered yesterday that, hey, we made a move and it's a pretty good dude.
Right.
As opposed to not making that move.
Right, exactly.
Feel good about.
Right, and I think, and rosters change, right? It's the natural, organic change of all 30 teams. You look at all 30 teams and look at their, I look up there on the TV, additions, subtractions, and there's a lot of names on both columns on every team. Teams in our division changes. Our team changes, and that's happened over, my 6 years here. It happens. So you got to try to, unless you're a team that, is, went up publicly and said, hey, we're rebuilding. It's gonna take us 3, 4, 5, 6 years to get to where we want to be. We haven't, we've tried to sign guys, and signing a guy like that makes you feel good. Because he wants to be here. Wants to be here.
One thing you didn't say about him just now, you talked about bringing him in and makes people feel good. You didn't say you were asking him to step out of whatever, or come in here and be our leader.
No, I've learned that long ago, that I want guys to be themselves. You can't be anything other than who you are. Because if you try to be in any profession, it doesn't work. You got to be genuine. But I think he possesses the characteristics as a person, as a guy, as a teammate that are all positive. He just has to be himself.
And so when I asked my question, it wasn't motivated by follow me boys. It was
right.
Just vibe.
Yeah. He just, I mean, he comes with a, with a presence and a track record, right, of playing and going to the post and some accolades, right, Rookie of the Year. I mean, those are great accolades, but he doesn't see himself as that. He sees himself as, part of a winning organization, wanting to win, this year and the next 6 after this one. So that's what I like.
Hey, buddy, Montero back in there today. I missed a lot of the early
Yeah.
spring when he was doing some things. Where is he at in terms of his career?
Yeah.
Seems like a guy who's really
Yeah.
trying to show you what he
Yeah.
can do.
Drew, I always liked the fact that you love to go to the young player.
I'll
Right.
talk about that.
Yeah, it's fine. I think it's great. And he's, and I've said this a lot to the guys, is that what a difference a year makes, right? Came over from a new organization, part of a huge trade, and sort of quiet by nature, introverted, a little shy. I wouldn't say language barrier, but it's tough sometimes for young Latin players to come over and feel immediately comfortable. But where he is now, man, it's awesome. Smiling, happy, so thrilled to be in this organization, working hard, and now, performing. Good year in Double-A, really solid year. Good reports from DeNorfia, who's his manager. Went to Schaeff in Triple-A, played well. Came here to camp and has performed. Got to improve the defense. There's some things he's got to polish up on the defense, footwork, some technical things on the infield side. But the bat plays. I think there's strike zone awareness. I think he's going to hit, and he's young.
I learned from Danielle Allentuck, the Gazette. She wrote up a nice piece on him, and he had a quote I thought was really fun and interesting. I want to get your reaction to it, where he's asked about being traded for a superstar, and I feel like 99% of the times the guys go, "Hey, I'm just here to be me. I'm here to do my job."
Right.
But he said, "Hey, yeah, I want to be a star too."
Yeah, he does. I think he's, all players have pride, or for me, they wouldn't have risen to this level if they didn't have pride and confidence. So I expect that to continue to grow. I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to be all right. He's got some talent. I got to go, Shelby.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.